What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful, delicious, smoky, bacon-wrapped, brisket-stuffed Texas Twinkies. Coming up! This is a brisket. Pat it dry. Just a typical USDA prime brisket. Picked this up at my local H-E-B. Got some flaps hanging off, but just like every other brisket, we gotta get this thing trimmed up. Starting by taking out this big chunk of fat right on the back. Yep. Don't need that. Take off some of the silver skin on the back, cleaning things up a little bit. Take off these weird pointy bits that are hanging off. Straighten up this side edge over here, being sure to round off all these sharp corners. Backside looking good. Flip it over. Take out this big chunk of fat right on the front where the two muscles meet. Round off this point muscle. Scoop out some of this fat. Take down the fat cap a little bit. Make sure we have enough fat, but not too much fat. Make sure to scalp it a little bit to let people know that you are in fact human. And then we're just gonna give this thing some shape. And there we go, looking pretty good to me. Took what, 2 minutes? Chud scrape. And there we go, that is looking pretty good. Let's season it up. For our rub today, feeling a little bit frisky, so we're gonna go in with some 16 mashed black pepper, on sale now at shopchuds.com, some Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt, some Lawry seasoning, and some granulated garlic. And all the ratios in the description box down below, but basically what I did is I took the weight difference between Kosher Salt and Lawry's, and basically made up for the difference of Lawry's being a lot heavier because of the smaller particle size. Starting on the back side of the brisket, as we always do, just gonna go on with a nice heavy coating of this stuff. And as always, because this is a pepper heavy rub, we can go on pretty liberally with this stuff and not have to worry about over seasoning anything. And as always, folks, please don't forget the sides. Rookie move. Looking good to me. Let's fire up the pit. And on the pit we go, fat cap up, fatty side toward the fire. We're gonna rock this pit the way we always do. Probably nice and smoky, around 250 for the first few hours, then bump it up to 275 and just keep on rocking through. This video is brought to you by ZBiotics. Ooh. As you may know, I've recently taken an interest in starting a bourbon collection. And as fun as it is tasting all these new bottles, I live a very hectic lifestyle, and I really can't afford to be waking up feeling groggy, tired, and all the other symptoms that come along with drinking. And a lot of the morning after effects stem from a toxin called acetaldehyde, which builds up in your gut. But ZBiotics, through genetic engineering, has developed a probiotic that breaks down acetaldehyde in the same way that your liver does naturally. And I gotta say, ever since being introduced to ZBiotics, I always keep some of these around, because it really does work. And it couldn't be easier. Before you have your first alcoholic beverage, drink one of these little guys, and the next morning you'll wake up feeling refreshed and ready to face the day. ZBiotics is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic, created by PhD scientists who altered the DNA of bacteria found in common foods. You know, it's not just a bunch of plant extracts or supplements or something like that. It's science, and I highly recommend giving it a try. So if you're in the market to wake up feeling great after a fun night out, go to zbiotics.com/chudsbbq to get 15% off your first order. Again, I'll have a link in the description box of this video, taking you to zbiotics.com/chudsbbq, and use my code chudsbbq to get 15% off your first order. Thank you, ZBiotics. We're about 10 hours into this brisket cook, and this thing is looking absolutely beautiful, nice and barky. Did very little over the last 10 hours as far as this brisket is concerned. And now, of course, we're gonna give it the old foil boat. And back on the pit she goes. I'm gonna aim the flat towards the fire to make sure that cooks evenly and let this bark solidify. And this thing is just, you know, it's a brisket cook, folks. Now I'm gonna bump the temps up to probably around 300, maybe even 325, because it's like 2 in the morning right now. So it's time to get this thing done. We'll check back in when it's probing nice and tender. And just like that, folks, this brisket is done and still nice and hot. Beautiful looking bark on there, probing like butter, right around that 200-degree mark. Onto this pan it goes and into my toaster oven at 150 degrees, where it shall sit overnight for a long, long heated rest. I'll see y'all tomorrow. As far as these jalapenos are concerned, we're gonna leave the stem on, and we're just gonna put a nice long slit running all the way down, trying to figure out where these naturally wanna sit. That way they don't start rolling around on the smoker. And you could very easily try and de-seed these right now, but a lot of people say that if you smoke them, they'll soften up, and then you're a lot less likely to break them while you're trying to stuff them full of cream cheese. So that's what we're gonna do today. On the pit they go. Got this pit rocking around 250, 275. Classic post oak fire, as I typically do. And we're gonna put these on slit side up and just let them cook away for about 20, 30 minutes or so until they're looking nice and soft and those slits have started to open up a little bit. And mostly because I forgot to pull these out of the fridge earlier. These are still cold and we need them to be softened to make our filling. We're gonna throw these on the smoker as well. But first, we're gonna hit it with a little bit of Chud rub. You could either add this now or later on when we're making the filling, but figure while I'm here. Oh God, throw these on as well. And while we wait for those to smoke away, let's go ahead and see how this brisket came out, shall we? Ooh, looking nice and barky, feeling nice and tender. Oops, oh no, oh God, what have I done? Beautiful bark on there, gotta love that. Let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Crunchy bark. Oh yeah, that's looking real nice. Beautiful smoke ring, nice and juicy. Lean side looking good. Good fat render on there, happy about that. Get a nice slice of center cut lean. Looking very nice. Oh, first brisket of the year, feels good. Get a little sneak peek, shall we? Oh, that was good. It's been a while since I had some brisket. Oh, that was so good. Nice and smoky. Been a minute since I did a Lawry's rub too. Definitely a little more salty, a little more savory. Shall we see how these burn ends came out? Beautiful fatty brisket, folks. It just never gets old. Love it. Get that lean out of there. You know, I definitely didn't have to smoke a brisket just for this video. I've got plenty of brisket in the freezer, but you know, sometimes I want to cook a brisket. Oh, that's it. Best bite in barbecue right there, folks. Ooh, that is so good. Gotta love a good slice of fatty brisket. Am I right? Nice and tender, nice and fatty, nice and bendy. Although, it is about time to retire this knife. It is kind of dull, shredding this thing a little bit, but woo, it's a good day around here, I tell you what. Fatty brisket, gotta love it, so good. But we're not here to eat slices of brisket. We need some chopped beef to go into our cream cheese mixture to stuff in some jalapenos. A couple slices of some center cut lean, chunk of fatty in there, this under the burn end piece, why not? Boop, and now just chop this up. Gotta love making chopped beef. It's a great way to clean up all this grease on the board too. But this is looking absolutely lovely. Might make myself a chopped beef sandwich if I don't eat too many of these Texas Twinkies. And just like that, these jalapenos are looking beautiful. Coming off the pit, nice and ready to be de-seeded, but we'll do that in just a minute. Set these aside to cool down a little bit while we go ahead and bust out our cream cheese filling. Looking good to me. And obviously, when it comes to your cream cheese filling, you can do whatever you like. Brisket and cream cheese is traditional, but you can throw some barbecue sauce in there, some barbecue rub. Really, do whatever you want, but I'm definitely gonna go pretty brisket heavy and just get that all nice and mixed up. Go ahead and give that a taste real quick. Oh, it's so meaty. Beautiful stuff. And yeah, I definitely made too much, but this is pretty much a dip. You know, I can make some rangoons or whatever I want out of this stuff. I'm probably just gonna eat it with a cracker. I'm gonna go in with a little more Chud rub though. Gotta make sure that cream cheese is seasoned as well. Oh, that's perfect. Beautiful stuff. So it's gonna get in there with some sort of thin tool and scrape away. And obviously, if you want these to be spicy, you can leave some of the seeds or some of the veins in there, but that's up to you. Just trying to be gentle here so I don't poke a hole through the bottom, because then all our cream cheese could come spilling out. And there we go. Perfect little vessel to be stuffed with brisket-filled cream cheese. And now, we repeat. And just like that, all of our jalapenos are emptied out. Just gonna go at this by hand, I think. Now I want these to be nice and full, but I still want them to be able to close. So I'm gonna just put a bunch in there, close it up, take off the excess, and there we go. This would be a very tedious thing to do if you were gonna try and serve these at a restaurant. But for the backyard cook, it's a lot of fun. Get the kids involved. Beautiful. And I know I've done many peppers stuffed with things wrapped in bacon, but you know, if I'm doing a football series and Texas Twinkies exist, You know I gotta do it. Just another form of a jalapeno popper. Looking good to me. And because there's a few too many vegetables in this dish now, we're gonna go ahead and wrap these in some bacon. And as always, whenever I'm wrapping something in bacon, I like to bust out the thin stuff. It crisps up quicker, renders down nicely, and it's got a bit of a stretch to it, so you can really get a nice tight wrap around there and make sure that one strip can really make it all the way around these guys. Oh, beautiful. Looks pretty good to me. Oh, love it. Boop. And just like that, we got ourselves a little Texas Twinkie mountain. And there's only one thing left to do, folks. Hit these with a little bit more Chud rub, or whatever rub you like. Sweet rub would be pretty cool. Spicy rub would be nice. Trying to get some on the board here so I can just kind of roll these around. Looking good to me. Let's throw on the pit. We're gonna be rocking this pit nice and toasty for this cook. I'm actually gonna aim the little stems away from the fire because they'll probably want to burn up on us. But probably gonna go upward of 300, 350 in that range. That way we get nice crispy bacon, make sure everything is cooked through. Cream cheese is nice and gooey. And yeah, there was 2 pieces of bacon left in that pack, so not putting that back in the fridge. We're gonna put the big guy right up front here. Alrighty, should not take long. Check back in a little bit. After about an hour, maybe an hour and a half on the old smoker, these are coming off the pit. I like to get them nice and crispy, looking good. Oh, you know, there's just something about bacon on the smoker, stuffed with brisket and cream cheese. I gotta tell you, I'm pretty excited. Feeling nice and soft, too. I mean, what's not to like about this, folks? Bacon wrapped jalapenos stuffed with brisket and cream cheese. Oh, I gotta dive in. Now, because we are in Texas, and these are called Texas Twinkies, I decided to put the sauce on the side, as we typically do with our barbecue around these parts. But I could see this being real good if you were to glaze them on the pit, maybe hit them with some hot sauce or something like that, but I think we got enough flavor going on, so I'm gonna give these a try. Dip, dip, dip. That was so good. So soft. Woo, still have a kick to it. Surprisingly spicy. Boop. So good. You got that crispy bacon that's covered in black pepper and all those other spices. The jalapeno is super soft because they were cooked twice. And then you got that beautiful briskety cream cheese inside that's just, oh, very pleasant. And that's why I love the thin bacon for this kind of thing, because it's bite through as opposed to taking a bite and everything unravels. But, whew, don't mind if I do. That is tasty. And having the stem as a little holder, nothing wrong with that. Beautiful. Does go great with barbecue sauce. I tell you what. So smoky. Kind of a pain in the ass to make, but I could eat a lot of these. I'm sure you could cook these less and they might be a little more firm, but the super cooked jalapeno in there, where everything is just super soft and biteable, very good. Ladies,
yes.
Yeah.
would you like to try some Texas Twinkies?
I would
Hell
love.
yeah.
love.
They're very good for you.
My mouth's watering.
Okay.
Quite spicy.
Well, that's the thing is you never know how spicy a jalapeno is going to be. You might have just gotten a spicy batch.
It's basically the Texas answer to the jalapeno popper.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've done the poppers. This is delicious.
All right, Brad, how many can you eat in one sitting?
The jalapeno makes it healthy, right? That's a vegetable.
I mean, the amount of carbs in here, not a lot, right?
No.
No, probably not. We also just had a ton of the sliced brisket.
Yeah, there's a full brisket sitting in there.
About a pound.
I'm very full, but that was delicious.
Thanks, Bradley. You always do it great.
Were you just looking at my butt?
That's why I'm standing back here.
All right, so can I use your...
Nope. Oh, God. It's
Aw, thank you.
I think it's time for the official taste test. Nice little cross section there. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic bacon-wrapped, brisket-stuffed jalapeno Texas Twinkies. I highly recommend giving this one a try, especially with whatever leftover barbecue you've got lying around. You can make these with pretty much anything. Some pulled pork, pork belly, brisket. It's all gonna be good. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.